To the Super Bowl, it's known for funny commercials, but the ads that, or at least some of the ads that stood out last night, took a more serious tone. One of them was this ad from Nationwide Insurance, talking about the #1 cause of childhood deaths. The spot says the #1 cause, preventable accidents. Ad experts criticized it. They say it fell flat because it was just too heavy for the format. But Nationwide says their goal was to start a conversation.
If that was their goal, they did start a nationwide conversation. We wanted to know what type of preventable childhood accidents emergency crews respond to in our area.
Our Lisa Balick going beyond the headlines tonight. She's in the newsroom, and I know you talked to paramedics. What did you find out?
I did, Ann. I want you to take a look at this. Eye drops. And I found out today, if a kid opens the cap and swallows even this tiny amount that's half an ounce, it could possibly put them into a coma or stop breathing. Now, local poison control tells me they've gotten calls about this. It's just one of many preventable accidents.
And she drank about a quarter of it.
Almost 150 calls a day pour into the Oregon Poison Control Center at Oregon Health Sciences University. I wanted to know, what are the most common poisons kids are getting into?
Over-the-counter pain medications are in that top 5, including cleaners like single-use laundry packets.
That's those laundry detergent-filled pods that I found out, if ingested, can send a kid to the hospital and put them on a breathing machine.
Once it's bitten into, it sprays to the back of the throat, and often kids may, in surprise, inhale some of the chemical. It gets in the lungs and can cause tissue injury.
Adult prescription medicine is one of the top kid poisons that children find and pop into their mouths. And it's not just poison hurting kids. According to the Centers for Disease Control, the leading cause of death in infants is suffocation, often from bedding. In ages 1 to 4, it's drowning. In many cases, in the bathtub when a parent steps away. Ages 5 to 19, car crashes, the #1 thing that kills kids. One call EMTs also respond to too often are babies falling off beds and changing tables. What types of injuries do you see?
It could be all sorts of trauma, usually head trauma at that age. The head is much larger than the body. So a lot of, skull fractures.
Senior paramedic Jessie Fingston tells me she gets several calls each year where a child's fallen out of a home window. Do you see that kids climb up onto a bed or a dresser that's right by the window?
Yes, that's usually how they make it to the window to get out in the first place, is there's something that they can climb up on.
It's a challenge to keep an eye on the kids every minute. These experts say, though, being vigilant can make a difference to save kids' lives. Now, I learned calls to the Poison Center spike at certain times, like on Super Bowl Sunday, when parents are often a bit distracted. Here's something else you should know. The Oregon Poison Center is open 24 hours, 7 days a week for calls. And if you find an empty container and a kid nearby, call the Poison Center.